Hello everyone, myself Mrs. Archana Mhatre, lecturer in Electronics and Telecommunication Department. In this video, we are going to continue with the first unit of microcontroller and applications, that is basics of microprocessor and 8051 microcontroller. So in this video, we will study about the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller IC. The 8051 microcontroller has a 40 pin IC starting from pin number 1 to pin number 40. So pin number 1 to 8 consists of a port 1, as port 1 is a 8-bit port. Then pin number 9 is for reset. Pin number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. These 8 pins are for port 3. As you can see here, these 8 pins are for port 3. Now port 3 has an alternate function. So the alternate function of port 3 is written over here. Now pin number 18 and 19 for clock to connect the oscillator, crystal oscillator XTL2 and XTL1. Now 20 pin number 20 is connected to the ground, pin number 40 is connected to the VCC. Then here pin number 32 to 39 is for port 0. Again port 0 is a 8-bit port. Pin number 31 is for EA bar / VPP. Pin number 30 is for ALE / PROG. Then pin number 29 is for PACN bar, and again pin number from pin number 21 to 28 it consists of a port 2, which is 8-bit port. So we will study the description of this IC in detail. First we will study about port 0. Port 0 is from P0.1 to P0.7. It consists of address as well as data. Address from A0 to A8 and A7, and data is from D0 to D7. So it is a combination of address as well as data. So port 0 is an 8-bit port and can be used as an input output or as a bidirectional low order address and data bus for external memory. To use the pins of port 0 as both input and output, each pin must be connected externally with a pull-up resistor, as P0 is an open drain. With the pull-up resistor connected to the P0, that is port 0, in order to use the port 0 as an input port, the port must be programmed by writing all the bits as 1. So when we are using the port 0 as an input port, so all the bits from P0.0 to P0.7 should be high, that is 1. Port 0 is also used as a AD0 to AD7, allowing it to be used for both address and data. When connecting an 8051 to an external memory, the port 0 provides both address and data, as it is a combination of address and data. The 8051 multiplexes the address and data through port 0 to save the pins. Then next is a port 1. Again it is a 8-bit port. So the port 1 can be used as a 8-bit input or output port, and port 1 does not need any pull-up resistor since it is already has a pull-up resistor internally. So for port 1 we have to connect the externally. For port 0 we have to connect the externally pull-up resistor. So in port 1 the pull-up resistor is internally connected, so does not need to connect the external pull-up resistor. Then port 1 is configured as an input-output port. Suppose port 1 has been configured as an output port, and to make it as an input port again, then port 1 must be write 1 to all its bits. So again, when we are using port 1 as an input port, so we have to make all the bits of port 1 as a high. Then next is a port 2. Port 2 again 8-bit port, consists of a higher order address, that is A8 to A15. So port 2 can be used as a 8-bit input output port, and port 2 does not need any pull-up resistor since it has already a pull-up resistor internally. So port 2 is configured as an input port upon reset. In order to use the port 2 as an input port, the port must be programmed by writing 1 to all the bits. Port 2 is also used as a higher order address bus, that is for A8 to A15, indicating its dual function. As we know, 8051 is capable of accessing 64 kilobytes of external memory. It needs bus for the 16 bit of the address. So port 0 gives the lower 8 bit via A0 to A7, while port 2 gives a higher 8 bit, that is A8 to A15 of the address. When the 8051 is connected to external memory, then port 2 is used to transmit the upper 8 bit of the 16 bit address, and it cannot used for input or output. So it has a dual function, either you can use it for input or output or to transfer the higher order of address. Next is a port 3. Again it is a 8 bit port starting from P3.0 to P3.7. The port 3 can be used as an input or output, and P3 does not require any pull-up resistor connected to it. Port 3 is configured as an input port upon reset. Port 3 has alternate functions such as interrupt, serial, input output, timer or counters, and read or write control external memory. So port 3 has alternate functions such as, in this diagram you can see the alternate function of port 3 of 8051 microcontroller. So it has alternate function as RxD, TxD for serial input line, serial output line, then INT 0 bar, INT 1 bar, that is the external interrupt 0, external interrupt 1, then T0, T1 for timer inputs, then timer 0 and timer 1 inputs, then read bar, write bar. Read bar is for external data memory write stroke, and RD bar function is external data memory read stroke. So this is the table for alternate function of port 3. Now next pin is reset pin. The reset pin is active high input pin, and it is used to reset the 8051. The high pulse must be high at least 2 machine cycles. It is called as power on reset. After applying the high pulse to the reset pin, the microcontroller will reset and it contains of all the resistor will be lost, and reset value of some reset the value of some 8051 resistor. Now next is a ALE/PROG. Now PROG is used. PROG bar is used when EEPROM memory is used. ALE is the address latch enable. It is an active high output pin, and it is used to demultiplexing the address and data bus, that is port 0, which provides both address and data. The ALE pin is used for demultiplexing the address and data by connecting to the 74LS373 latch. So for demultiplexing address and data, the latch is used. Same pin is also the program pulse input, that is PROG bar, during the EEPROM programming. When the EEPROM memory is used, then PROG bar is used. Then next is PACN bar. PACN is the program stroke enable. This is an output pin, and it is connected to the OE bar of the ROM. OE bar pin, that is output enable pin of the ROM memory. When the 8051 is fetching code from internal program memory, then PACN bar is high, that is it is deactivated, as it is an active low pin. And when the device is fetching code from the external program memory, then PACN bar becomes low, that is it is activated. Now next is a EA bar/VPP, that is external access enable. EA, that means external access enable. Now EA bar must be connected to the VSS. VSS is the ground pin, which enables the 8051 to fetch code from external program memory from locations starting from 0000H up to 0FFFH. So EA bar should be connected to the VCC while fetching the code from internal program memory. So when 8051 fetches code from external program memory, then EA bar must be connected to ground, and when 8051 fetching code from internal program memory, then EA bar should be connected to the VCC. Now next pin is VPP. It is used when EPROM memory is used. This pin also receives the 12.75 voltage, which is called programming supply voltage, that is VPP, while programming the EPROM. Now next pin is the XTL1 and XTL2. Now XTL1 is an input to the inverting oscillator amplifier and input to the internal clock generating circuit, and XTL2 is an output line of the internal inverting oscillator amplifier. That means the crystal oscillator is connected in between the XTL1 and XTL2 pins. Thank you.